Hello and welcome to NeuroForge, and in this video I'll be taking you through a brief tour of the PyCharm Community Edition. Remember, PyCharm is an IDE for coding Python, and specifically it's more suitable for coding Python because it provides us with additional features and functionalities when we are doing our coding. So by the end of this video, you will be able to identify all the icons when you open your PyCharm Community Edition version. And always remember that why I'm emphasizing the use of the PyCharm Community Edition is that the PyCharm Community Edition is free of charge. So it's more user friendly compared to the professional version, which is paid at a certain period of time. Then let us dive into our tutorial right now. Basically, I'll begin with creating a folder onto my screen. So create new folder. I can call it project. Then I'll press enter. So there are two ways to open this folder with the PyCharm Community Edition. So I can right click onto my folder and I'll get a dialog box with open folder as a PyCharm Community Edition project, or I can just get this folder, drag it onto my PyCharm icon, and you see that it will be having open with PyCharm Community Edition. So I'll use that option and it will load. So after loading, they will ask you to configure a Python interpreter. Remember, this is very vital. So if you have not yet installed Python, it's better you see my previous video about the installation of Python, which is also on this channel. And if you have already installed your Python but you never added Python onto Path, it's always better you uninstall the Python, you install, then you reinstall it again and you add it to Path. So I'll just come into configure a Python interpreter right here. Then I'll say we're having a 3.13 Python interpreter, so I'll select it and it will come exactly here at the bottom, and they will show you that current interpreter is that version. So this is what we call adding to Path. So if you are not seeing that information, this implies that you never added your Python onto Path or into Path. So let us start. So this is what we call the PyCharm Community IDE, or the Integrated Development Environment. Remember, always the Integrated Development Environment provides you with additional features to do coding better. It provides all other functionalities like autocode completion, among others. So I'll begin from my top left corner. So I'm having the icon exactly here. Then from here, I'm having what you call the main menu. So when you click it, you get different icons basing on which tab you are pressed. So there is new project, then you go project from version control, new scratch files, etc. as you go down. Then I'm having when to edit with also other features, view, navigate, code, refactor, among others, as you can see, up to hope. So this is what we call the main menu with the horizontal tabs. So, and in this position, I'm having what we call the project. So always remember that when you create your folder, remember our folder was a project, it will always be at the top, if I'm very clear. Then we're having what we call the version control. The version control only helps you if you want to keep track of the changes you do to your project. So this is very vital. You may be many programmers doing different parts in a program. So version control helps you to keep track which changes were made in which part. So this is the title of our folder. Then from here, I'm having where there is project. Project, when you click it, it will bring you something project. Then project is the name of our folder we created, if you're very okay. Then if you're interested in creating any file within your folder, you just right click from this point. Then they will bring you new. Then they can tell you scratch, but we are not interested in this. So to get the Python files we're interested in creating, I'll select this. Then I'll right click. Then they will bring me new. Then I'll come to Python file. I can call it any name. So let me call it project 2. Remember now this is a Python file, so you don't need to put anything like the extension. So when I press enter, they'll create it for me automatically. And from here, I can just print something onto our screen. And print hello world like that. So that's how you create your folders. Then from here, we have what we call a structure. So when you click it right now, it's empty, but it will show you the structure of your work or the structure of your code when you do a lot of coding. Then here we have more tools. So when I select the more tool windows, you will see commit, bookmarks, find. So you can search within a very big file or a very big project. You can search for a specific item or a specific word. You can run your code from here. You can debug. There is hierarchy. Then you can learn from here. So if you click this option, they will take you through a simple navigation. Then there is to do. Then when we go downwards, still onto our left hand side, you will find this Python console. So when you select this, it's similar to the normal console we know, like the one we use to write Python. So if I try typing something 2, then +2, and I press enter, I'll get a 4. So this works the normal way as the normal console. Then we should be, let me close this from here. If I'm interested in minimizing this to get a full screen of our workflow, I can just click here where there is project, and I'll click it. Oops, this is to minimize. Let me minimize it now. Then I have the Python packages. So if you have installed any module to use into your project, they will be exactly right here. So for me, I'm having the pillow, then I'm having the PyTest, then I'm having the TTK Bootstrap. So right now I'm having 3 installed. So if you install any of the modules, you'll find them exactly here. Don't worry about the term module. We shall cover more about it in the next coming videos. Then we have what we call the services. So they will provide you with all the information you need to know about your project from the services. Then we have the terminal. Remember we talked of an IDE being a self-contained project whereby it's having an inbuilt terminal for you to execute your Python codes. So even if I type the normal ID, all the normal terminal commands like the clear screen, which is CLS, and press enter, it will work exactly here. So that is the power of an IDE. Then I'll go to the problems. So this will show me the errors within our projects. Let me try. So the moment I remove that bracket, they will tell me that expected something and never got it. So let me put it back. So that's where you can easily navigate your errors from when you are doing the Python coding. Then remember you can find problem errors, server-side analysis, and vulnerability dependencies. Then I have what we call the version control. I've already talked about this one. It helps you to keep track of changes made to your project. Then I'll continue with the navigation. Let me close this. So now going to my right hand side, exactly at the top, we have something called the current file. So when you are having a current file, this implies that you are running this exact script. So if I had many files, it will be something very different, because I could just right click here and I could choose any other file for me to run. So always know that if you are interested in running the current file, you can just set it to be current from here. If you're having many other files, you can select which files to run at what time. Then I'll continue. Then we're having this, the play. So it's always you run. So when you try clicking it, it will run your project from here. Let me first. So they'll tell you that you have print hello world. So that's what the run button does. Then we have, this is for debugging. So if you're interested in removing errors from your project, you can debug from this point. Right now, it's okay, you have no errors to debug, but if you're interested, you always click here to see how you can debug your projects. Then we can continue. Then from this point where there is an icon of a person plus a plus onto its left, is either now the right bottom side, there is code with me. So code with me implies that you can allow other people or invite other people to your IDE or join another IDE to work together on a project. So let me try it. So when you click onto it, they will tell you code with me, start a session. So if you're interested in starting a session and calling people, you can give them different permissions. For example, read only. They can be only viewing what you are doing without editing anything. When somebody clicks edit files, you are giving permission. Full access, this is full access, so they can do anything. They can write, they can run at any time they want. So that is the power of PyCharm, that it gives you another additional feature to run your Python codes instantly or to work with other people. Then we have where there is search. So for search, you can search anything within your document, even if you are interested in text. Assuming I'm interested in searching for hello, let me try it. So they will show me exactly where the hello is. So if I'm interested in making any changes or tracking any error when I don't know where it is, I can just come into the search and I search for something specific. Then from that, we have this is a setting icon. So from the settings, you can do the normal settings, you can run anything, you can do the plugins. There is setting the synchro, then there is theme, key map, then the view mode. So all these you can do them from that point. Then if I'm to continue to my left, these are just notifications. Sorry, my right, these are just notifications. So any notification you can view it from here. Then we're having where we have the AI assistant. So PyCharm is a very good IDE whereby it provides you additional features like the artificial intelligence assistance. So if you make any error, you can try asking it to help you solve that problem instantly. Then I can continue to my down. These are okay. We have the UTF-8. So this is just a file encoding old font. Then we have the spaces. So by default, when you try indenting, they will indent with 4 spaces. So when I do something like this, these are just 4 spaces. If I'm very clear, let me remove that. Then we have, this is what we call the Python interpreter. So if we are not having this right now, this implies that you cannot run your Python programs. Remember, the programs have to be interpreted in order to be run. So if you don't have this, it's better you first pause this video, go back and view my previous video about the installation of Python. You follow the exact steps so that you can get the same output. Then I'm having a padlock. So this one makes the file to be read only. So when you click it and you lock the file, you cannot make anything like a change. So when you try typing anything, they will just bring you this clear read only status. So when you press OK, now the file will be okay. So that's how the read only works. Then from here we'll be having the folder name. then the project.py. So this is what we had today, and in our next video we shall be learning all what we need to be knowing about these tabs, the file edit, and we shall dive more into the settings tab so that we can set our own font, we can set themes, view mode, among others.